back, everyone. Today's episode, we're going to change out some fluorescent lighting to LED. Currently, we have two sections of 8-foot T12 bulbs. They're 110 watt bulbs per bulb. And we're going to change out that to the LED 36 watt strips that are from super bright LEDs. These are ballast removal or ballast bypass lights that we're going to install. So for all my lights in the barn, every one of them is plugged in at the ceiling. The thought there was this: if I needed to remove those for any kind of maintenance or repair or change them out, I could just unplug them and it isolates my power source. So instead of turning off a breaker, this just makes it a lot easier. So we'll unplug both of these from the ceiling, and I also have one in our storage room that has a bad ballast, and we're going to change it out as well. And we'll take before after pictures, and then and hopefully we can get a little more brightness in here without using a lot more energy. So let's get started on this project. So this is our storage room / tornado shelter room, which is right behind me, and we have a ballast that's going bad. So this is where this whole project of removing the ballast and putting LEDs kind of started. And I've only got 3 sets of the T12s in here because the rest of the barn are all 6 lamp T5s, on the ceiling. But anyway, we're going to start in this room. I'm going to unplug this light, remove the bulbs, and then we'll remove the ballast, change the lighting configuration. On the wiring configuration will be line side one end and neutral will be on the other end. And it doesn't matter how you wire that up, just as long as they're opposite ends. So it should be an easy install. We'll actually unplug this and get started on this. So these are actually the LED strips that I'm going to be replacing the fluorescent tubes with, and the model number of these are the T12B-XK 36 watt-85 from superbrightleds.com. How this works is you actually have wired connections, and you will actually just plug and play those. You will insert this tube into the other tube, and they snap together, kind of much like a telescoping pole where they got the spring clips here. When those lock together, this will make a rigid 8-foot piece. Now, this does come with different adapters. Currently, I have the 2-prong end, but I need to make this to an R17 end. So it just comes with an adapter that looks like that, plugs right on, and then I can put those in place of the current fluorescent tubes that I have. And all this comes in a kit. One of the neat little features on this too, right in the middle where the bulb goes, this is actually a magnetic hanger, and this will help support the center of that tube. Kind of a neat little item. These LED lights are rated for 120 to 277 volt, so you can use them in multiple applications. And they're 75 watt equivalent. So when we put these together, you've got a 2-pin connection and a single pin connection. And then the wires will actually just push down in the track. There's a groove underneath that wire right here. Those will push down in that track, keep them out of the way. And then just got those spring clips just like that. But when this slides in, this is probably Another part that's a little difficult because you got to line them up just right. Anyway, we're going to get started in this storage room first and see what we can get done today. So I've got I don't know, you probably can't even see this. I know you can't. Anyway, I have a plug-in, as I explained earlier in the video, that plugs in into the wall. So my power's isolated and everything's on a wall switch. Alright, so what we have here, we've got red and blue wires, which will be our line side. We have the yellow wires, which are going to be our neutral side. And then we have our power wires to the ballast. So, which is black and white. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut the wires and strip them. I'll land the white to the yellow up here, and then I'll land my black to the blue and the reds. Pretty simple installation. And we'll just remove the ballast. Just to give you a close-up, there's the plug and there's the wall plug, and that's how I power up my lights throughout the entire barn. But what we're doing is we're going to remove this ballast, so you can see the yellow wires and then we see the black and blue. The black wire from the power of the ballast will go to this the blue and the red side, and then the neutral will land on the yellow. Haha. Voila. One of the things that makes it really nice about having this plug-in up here is I can still use it. All right, get started on this. I'm keeping some length of wire on this on the ballast itself. Really don't have to on this one because we know it's bad, but if I wanted to reuse the ballast, I could. And I'll end up saving the ballast on the other two in case I decide I want to reuse them somewhere else. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, then I highly recommend seeking an electrician to do this for you. But it's pretty easy and straightforward. So because I don't have super high amp draw, I'm actually using push-in connectors. And then I'll just run some tape over it. But because I have 4 wires, this makes it super easy. Run some tape over that. Alrighty. I'll run some tape over all my connections. Okay, so to clean up these wires, zip tie these up. There's that. There's that end. Okay, we're ready for some bulbs. Now, one thing you want to make sure is, obviously you have a metal side up and then you have a lighted side on these. There's that. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's hanging down pretty good. So that is the reason why they have this support bracket to go right in the middle, and it just hangs just like that. Okay, so now we have our light installed and it's clearly a lot brighter. I think I like it. On to the next ones. So unplug that. Get my other shop light. So I've got one set up, and it's definitely a little brighter. Maybe kind of hard to tell. It's more of a cool white color, but it's supposed to be 5000 K. So anyway, we're going to go over here to this next one and do the same thing to it. But we've almost got them up there. Easy install. These lights definitely could not hold themselves up. I don't know if you can see that, but they sag pretty good. So I can see why they need the bracket in the middle. And just like that. These little guards are nice just because you don't know, you never know if you're going to end up raising a tool up in them. So they are nice to have. Okay, we'll plug her back in and we'll see what it looks like. Oh yeah. There we have it. That's a lot brighter. So overall, that actually was pretty easy. It wasn't too hard. Pretty cut and dry as far as getting your hot lead versus your neutral. So anyway, I'm going to do just a real quick after pictures, and but they are definitely brighter than what the fluorescent tubes that were up there. And these are quite a bit smaller too. If I was to compare size-wise, these are more like a T8 size bulb, not a T12, but they fit and they work, so I'm pretty pleased with them. But anyway, I will post the link down below from superbrightled.com and with a part number. I have made many purchases from Super Bright LEDs. I've put all LEDs in the camper, and they have every bulb you can imagine, so be sure to check them out on their website. As always, we just ask that you subscribe and like our videos, And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll get any notifications of any new videos that we post. It may be hard to tell the difference in the before and after photos, but I can assure you that there is a definite cooler white illumination with the new LED lighting. Not to mention the energy savings alone make this project worth the effort.